Well, hello my dear companions, welcome back to Doki Doki Digital Club Blue Skies. Many of you voted, and the thing is, the vote system, the poll card, is not available anymore on YouTube. I thought it was, but it wasn't. So I did that. I pretty much looked through the comments on the previous video and also saw combined those results with a poll on my Twitter. So follow me on my Twitter if you want to really keep up to date with my day-to-day life and channel updates and such. I combined those two results and I got a winner. It was close, but I got a winner for which route we're gonna play, and we're gonna simp the shit out of Yuri. Yes, Yuri won, and I'm glad actually, because she's my favorite girl in this universe, in this game universe, in Doki universe. So we're gonna go with the Yuri route, and some of you said that the Yuri route is the best one, so I don't know. We're gonna go with that. If you want to see the other routes, please play it yourself or check out another YouTuber, because I think there are a few who play this mod on YouTube. So to get Yuri, well, what might she like? Intellectual, there we go. Red, sticky, infinite, sugar, heartbeat, spinning, shiny. Infinite, there we go. Starscape, there we go. I just try to remember what kind of things they like, but oh, Misery, that's Yuri. No, that was Sayori. Ooh, I messed that up. But let's see. Frightening, that's Yuri. We just need to get more Yuri than the other ones. Melancholia, that might be Sayori too. Nature, Sayori, damn it. Contamination, Yuri. Dark, that's Sayori too. I keep messing those girls up. Insight, Yuri. 20, we need 20, wow, this will take some time. Sparkle cute. Whoa, what happened? Oh, I could pause the video like that, okay. Nice, I guess. Let's go with Defeat. That's Sayori. I'm gonna mess up and get Sayori. Disaster, that's Yuri. Of course that's Yuri. Of course it is. Philosophy, Yuri. Games, that might be Natsuki. Atone, Yuri. Existence. Yes, there we go. Secretive, that's Yuri. Yes. Uncontrollable, Yuri. And what do we have more? We have Death, of course. No, of course. Sorry, of course that's Sayori, the girl we like to hang out with. Climax, that might be Yuri. Yeah, of course that's Yuri. She and her pen. You know. Desire, that might be Yuri, yes. And one last thing. Horror. I'm pretty sure we got Yuri. Salsa, fancy meeting you here. We might save though. What a coincidence, huh? Seriously speaking though, I'm happy to see you back here. I would have been disappointed if you ran away on us. So I think Monica is still self-aware in this mod, but we'll see. I'm not sure how much of a horror mod this is. Yeah, I enjoyed myself last time, so why wouldn't I come back? True enough. Well, feel free to make yourself at home before we start on our club activities. Thanks, will do. Well, I'm back at the literature club. Sarah and I were the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Salazar, I'm glad to see you here again. I'm sure she is. Who knew that something so simple would warrant so much thanks? First, Monica and now Yuri. I need to lower the volume. Holy shit, I can't hear anything. There we go. Censor nudity? We're gonna have nudity in this one? Oh, okay. I'm not gonna censor it. Because I want to see it. But I'm gonna censor it for you, because YouTube will flip if I show you it. First Monica and now Yuri. I know that it might be overwhelming to be thrown into a new hobby so suddenly, much less an organization centered around that hobby. So don't hesitate to let me know if you ever need any help. Or any other club member for that matter. That is to say, feel free to ask any of us for assistance. Right, thanks. I'll keep that in mind. Don't worry though, it's not like I've never read anything before. I even remembered to write a poem for today, if you'll believe it.
We'll believe it when we see it.
Hey, it's not like I need to have a university degree to write a poem. It was just like another school assignment. Although it might be a little new to me, it's not that hard.
It's not that hard to write a bad poem, you...
Oh, damn. Well, we'll see. I think Yuri's gonna like our poem at least. She's got me there. And that's why I never said I wrote a good poem. Natsuki smirks at me, seemingly pleased that I'm not offended by her teasing. Well, good is often subjective when it comes to subjects like these. I'm sure you did fine, Salsa. Well, thanks for the vote of confidence. Try not to overhype my work though.
Hey Yuri, if you keep your expectations low, you'll never be disappointed.
That's me kinda though, in a nutshell. I'm actually a pessimist when it comes to many things, because I think if I keep my expectations low, I won't be disappointed. I know that is a terrible way to see things, but I don't know.
Besides, I bet this is the first extracurricular Salsa's done since high school started. So extra work is probably really foreign to him.
Again, she's not wrong. But she doesn't have to say it like that. Natsuki, you're being unfairly harsh.
Salsa, what would you say your main hobbies are?
Here we go. Wow, she's really putting me on the spot. I know I'm playing into your teasing right now, but yes, I spend a lot of my time playing games and watching anime. Boom. Me personally, I haven't watched anime in a long time now. I don't know, I miss it so much. I don't really have time for it. I'm gonna need to spend some more time with anime on the evenings, on weekends. I need to keep up, because I missed a lot of good anime.
That's all you need to know.
That's a bit of rich coming from someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Natsuki splutters to a halt. Looks like a certain someone knows how to dish it out, but can't take it. Exactly.
Manga is literature.
Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Manga is literature.
Don't worry, guys. Salsa always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. He's always been there when I need it. When we were kids, he'd always be around to help me with stuff. Oh, are you two childhood friends? I glance at Sayori. Despite her sheer recollection of our childhood memories just then, Yuri's question is a reminder that we haven't spent much time together in a long time. It's a tad awkward. Yeah, we've known each other for a while, haven't we? We smile at each other. I'm really hoping we can use the club to reconnect. Ah? such a history with one another. I imagine you've shared much together.
You could say that. Would you believe Sayori is still as clumsy now as he was 10 years ago?
Meaty, that's not true.
Oh, need I tell Sayori about the time you tried to cook lunch and almost set the house on fire? Her face turns red, or pink, and she rushes to interrupt me.
Anyway, I'm sure you two could be just as good friends. After all, you're both in the literature club now.
Yeah, look forward to it. Yuri looks hopeful at hearing this, although I can't help but wonder, given the maturity and intelligence she carries so elegantly, and how her passion for reading is much stronger than my own, would it be as easy as Sayori thinks it is? Still, it's worth a try at least.
Yay! Yuri even brought you something today, you know.
Wait, Sayori? Me?
It's not much, really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing.
Whatever it is, I'm sure I'll like it. What is it, Yuri?
Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. I was going to wait to give it to you at the appropriate time, but... I'm sorry, Yuri, I wasn't thinking.
She's never thinking. She's never thinking.
Now I've ruined the surprise.
The two girls both look dolefully down. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue the situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place, so this is still a pleasant surprise for me. To me. Oh, why did my Google Assistant start? Stop. No, my timer. I always time my playthrough so I know how much time I spend. Here we go. There we go. Just knowing that you went through the effort to get me something makes me feel really welcomed. No matter what, I'm sure it'll make me happy.
Is that so?
Of course, thanks for being so considerate, Yuri.
You're welcome. It was the least I could do. Anyway, if that's the case, here it is.
If she gives me a pen... A book. Isn't this... What? Isn't this a book from yesterday? Upon seeing the confused look on my face, she hastens to explain.
I thought you might like to have your own copy so that you can read it on your own as well.
I honestly don't know what to say. How is it that she's only known me for a day, yet she's already done something this thoughtful for me? That's adorable. That's adorable. Oh, Yuri, thank you. That's really thoughtful of you, but you didn't have to do that for me. I feel kind of bad, you know?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean for that. I just, I understand if you don't want to read it with me anymore, so...
Honestly, she gets more adorable by the minute. No shit. We're gonna simp the shit out of her. Please, it's fine. I'd love to read it with you. I just wasn't expecting you to buy me a copy of my own.
Are you sure? I don't want to force you.
Seriously, Yuri, I'm sure. After all, I grin at her. It is a good book. She timidly returns my smile, relaxing a little bit.
I'm glad you seem to think so. How are you liking it so far?
She looks at me with wide, expectant eyes. She must be really worried that I'm not enjoying it as much as her. To be honest, I've been pleasantly surprised. While horror isn't really my thing, it really kept my attention. Even though I haven't gotten very far yet, I find myself feeling sorry for the protagonist. The language is pretty engaging. It certainly makes me think about it. As I praise the book, her face grows visibly more relieved, and her eyes light up as I mentioned the language.
I'm glad you think so. One not only needs to look at what is being said, but how it's phrased. It can entirely change the desired message. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh boy, I hope we don't get into an in-depth discussion about the language. I'm still nowhere near Yuri's level with this sort of thing. Totally. Totally. I never really thought of it until you brought it up with me. You really made me look at it with a bit more scrutiny than I would normally. She blushes at this, turning away slightly.
Really? I helped you with that?
I have to admit you really managed to open my eyes to this sort of thing. Or should I say, my third eye. Oh. Your silence makes me nervous. Did I make a mistake? You know, because the book mentions the third eye, there's an eye on the cover.
Ah, I see.
Oh, what did we do? Probably best not to comment on her accidental continuation of the pun. I see. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah. I think that joke went right over her head. Tough crowd.
I see. You were making a joke. I'm sorry, I didn't realize.
Oh, cringe. No worries, I just thought it was a good pun. She smiles bashfully. Yes,
It's quite humorous, isn't it?
I think that means everything is okay. Now that everyone's settled in, I expect Monica to kick off the scheduled activities for the club. Like the poetry thing, I've already steeled myself for the critique I'll probably be receiving. But it seems that we have some downtime before then. Oh? Well, looks like I won't be able to just immediately get it over with. What's the others doing right now? Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Probably discussing club matters, given that they are the president and vice president. As expected, Yuri's face is already buried in the book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. A few huffs of annoyance sound from her direction every once in a while. I'd love to talk to Yuri a bit more, especially after she gave me that book. I guess this is where we start the Yuri route, pretty much. I need to save, by the way. Not auto, not auto. What did it say? I missed something. However, she seems to be focused on her own book. I'm worried if I might just distract her. As she lifts it up to turn the page, I get a glimpse at the cover. It's the same book that she gave me, and it looks like she's only just started it. Oh damn, I hope she doesn't think I was staring at her booblibabas. Our eyes meet, but her eyes dart away quickly.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I didn't mean to stare, I was just spacing out a bit.
Oh. Well, if I had been actually concentrating, I wouldn't have noticed.
I meant to ask though, is that the book you gave me?
Mm-hmm. It's one of my favorites, so I thought I'd give it another read through. Not for any other reason, I assure you.
I see, but why do you have two copies of the same book?
Well, I know I lent you the book yesterday, but I figured you might feel more comfortable with your own copy. And know that I always feel more at ease when I'm handling my own belongings. If an accident happens, there's less at stake when if you damage someone else's property, so... you're probably less clumsy than I am, though.
Yuri, the ever-graceful girl, thinks that she's clumsy. She's the least clumsy of these girls. Maybe Monica, but you know... Nah, I'm pretty sure I'm just as clumsy as you, if not more so.
Oh, right. Anyway, after our meeting adjourned yesterday, I went to the bookstore to get you... that is to say, I forgot I already had a copy and accidentally bought another, and it seems like a waste to just hold on to it.
Couldn't you have just returned it though?
They've already closed, so...
There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. Yeah, just let it go. She wanted to give you a book, and don't sweat it. I guess it doesn't really matter. I'm glad that you gave it to me. I'll get started on it right away.
That makes me happy to hear. It's the kind of story that really draws you in. If you're not careful, you can lose track of time very easily. I know, I've opened it for some light reading before bed, only to close it and find out the sun's rising. Whoa, okay. But I can understand that, I'm sure that won't happen to you though. You'll be able to get enough sleep as usual. That is, unless you generally find yourself lacking sleep, in which case you should go to bed earlier. But you can't do whatever you want. I don't mean to overstep my bounds.
Come on, girl. Chill. You are adorable. You don't have to overdo it. Don't worry about it, Yuri. I'll be sure to read this earlier in the day. Do you mind telling me a bit more about it?
I'd love to. Where do I begin?
Yuri delicately closes the book, her eyes scanning the cover.
Well, actually, I don't think I could give an adequate explanation on my own. If I were to tell you more about the story than I did yesterday, it would lose a lot of its impact. Forgive me if it sounds like I'm brushing you off. That's not what I intended.
It's alright, Yuri. Come to think of it, you did summarize it well enough yet already. Yeah, I mean, don't spoil it.
Yes. I'm sorry. I seem to get lost in my own mind whenever I talk about these kind of stories. Don't you have anything like that, Salazar?
Yes, so. Yuri nods with a delicate smile.
Everyone has a deeply held interest that stirs the passion within their heart. I suppose for me it would be my novels and...
Yuri cuts herself. Yuri cuts herself off. Really? Really? As though she were about to say something she didn't want to.
Well, you know what I mean.
What got you into these sort of stories, though? A gesture towards the book in her arms. Do your parents enjoy them as well? Yuri pauses for a moment, shyly looking down at her feet. We don't know much about her parents. We kinda know, I guess the family we know most about is the Natskis. From the other mods and such, especially Exit Music. She seemed to be going all over what she wants to say in her head.
I've always had an interest in the
macabre. How do you say that in English? Macabre?
This genre can easily throw you for a loop. While many stories are simple content to introduce an antagonist, and condition the reader to root against them, books like this one can find ways to flip that narrative on its head. So while you might initially find yourself relating to the protagonist, you might suddenly find out that they're their own worst enemy. I'm rambling, aren't I? Please forgive me. I really should try to think about others more.
Yuri, I promise I'm not mad at you. You're just passionate, which is pretty cool.
It is?
For a brief moment, a tiny smile teases at the corner of Yuri's mouth.
Well, I'll try not to worry about it too much. But sometimes I get distracted when I think about books and writing. I forget where I am and start speaking my mind. So please forgive me if I say something unusual. And if I seem like I'm not paying attention, please let me know.
I really don't think you need to worry about that, Yuri. Don't worry that much. This is Literature Club after all. Isn't that the sort of thing we should be discussing anyway?
I suppose so.
So, on that note, would you like to read a bit together? You don't need to force yourself to spend time with me if you don't want to. I want to. I'm playing your route, damn it. But what if I do?
You really want to spend your time with me?
Of course, Yuri. Book in hand, I slide into the desk next to Yuri.
Ah.
Is everything okay?
Yes. I'm terribly sorry, Salsa. I'm just not too accustomed to reading in company. It's usually been a solitary affair for me, you see.
Well, I can understand how it might seem a little unsettling for you. If it gets too overwhelming, let me know. I won't be offended if you need some space.
Alright.
Open up the book, allowing the hardcover to flop against the desk. As I read through the prologue, I notice Yuri glancing over at my book. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't comforting in a way, but it's somewhat distracting, yeah.
I'm sorry. I hope I wasn't distracting you.
You were. Yuri, why do you apologize all the freaking time? You really done nothing wrong.
Do I? I can't help, I suppose. It's like an involuntary reflex. If I preemptively apologize, it'll lessen both my disappointment in myself as well as others' disapproval of me.
Girl, I feel you. Damn. But still, that's not healthy.
I didn't mean to make things so awkward. Sorry. I mean...
It's okay. Don't worry about it. How about we do this? I push our desks together, then slide my book between the two of them. I'll read from the same book.
I suppose that'll work.
Yuri puts her own copy away and shifts a bit closer to me. I steady the right side of the book between my thumb and forefinger. Yuri does the same with the other side. Perfect. Now we can both go through it at the same pace.
Yes.
Yeah. I would have loved the new art here. But I read that there are a lot of new art, but I guess some of them are reused. Two of us are huddled closer together over the book, carefully reading it. I can see Yuri's gentle face in my peripheral vision. She has a stern, focused expression, her eyes slowly scanning each page.
Do you need a bit more time with this page?
Sorry, I guess I'm not really too quick of a reader. I look over and our gazes meet. There's a coy sparkling to her eyes. It's quite alright.
It's quite alright, Salsa. You can go at whatever pace you're comfortable with. After all, you've been so patient with me today.
She's happy. Oh, that's lovely.
It'll only be fair for me to return the favor, wouldn't it?
Thanks. I try not to take too long. The two of us continue reading in relative silence. Even though we're so quiet, each turn of the page feels as though we're connected. As I let go of the page, it gently floats over to her, and she delicately slides it under her thumb.
Salsa?
Having been absorbed by the story, Yuri reels me back in.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
It's fine. What were you going to say?
Well, I suppose I just wanted to thank you for this. I had always hoped I could find someone to share my interest in books with. I've never really had anyone read with me before. Having someone else be there is nice.
Really? I would have thought you would at least done some reading with your family.
Yes, well, I did when I was younger, but...
She trails off, not finishing the thought. I decide not to press her further on that right now. Yuri takes a slow, deep breath.
I'm just happy that you're here with me. I mean, with me. Not that I wouldn't want you to be there for me or anything, but I can't believe I messed things up again.
Wait, Yuri. I don't think you've done anything wrong. If anything, I think of it as a compliment.
You do?
Sure, being honest, I enjoy your company as well. Okay, everyone. Finally, we're gonna go to the poems. I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long.
Uh-oh.
Yuri sighs dejectedly, looking down at the floor.
Is that alright, Yuri?
You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this.
It's not that. Don't worry about me, I'm alright.
Yuri lets go of the book and closes the cover, handing it back to me. We got through a fair bit today, didn't we? Do you mind if I continue a bit further on my own? Or would you prefer I only read it with you?
You don't have to limit yourself on my behalf if you want to keep...
She keeps being so,
After all, I've already finished this story before.
Then I guess I'll continue reading it a little bit tonight. Then we'll have a bit more to talk about tomorrow.
Yes, that's a good idea. Just be sure to let me know how far you get so I can avoid spoilers for you.
Alright. I skimmed through the book to find the page where we left off on and folded it in slightly to mark it for later.
By the way, you did remember to write a poem, right?
Don't worry, I'm not that much of a slacker. I've got it right here in my bag. And I'm gonna save the game before you mess anything up, Monica. I rifled through some stray papers to pull out the pages that I wrote my poem on. Well, I can't help but feel a bit nervous. I had to admit that I'm excited now. Talking to these girls has been really calming my nerves, and now I'm just eager to share my poem. After all, judging by each girl's personality, I doubt that anyone would say anything nasty about it. I'm pretty sure Natsuki's gonna say something nasty. Well, yeah, Natsuki. I don't know if she'd be unduly harsh though. She just seems like the type of person who enjoys ribbing on her friends. Either way, I hope they realize that I put hard work into it. I figured that I'd only be fair to repay their warm welcome by showing effort in club activities. Now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with?
I can't wait!
Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. Of course it is. On the other hand, Monica wrote her in a neat black composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from here where I sit. She's going to put us all to shame. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. Okay, this is pretty similar to the main game so far. Let's go with you. Read my poem first, Yuri. Let's go with her. I can trust her opinion to be fair. Yuri's eyes seem to sparkle as she reads my poem. She's gonna love it.
My goodness, this is unparalleled.
I think that might be a bit much.
Forgive me if it doesn't sound sincere.
Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. Don't sweat it, Yuri. I just wasn't expecting to hear such a compliment from you already.
I see.
Yuri clears her throat.
Well, I just wanted to say, this is truly an impeccable poem.
Yuri glances down back at my poem.
So I assume this isn't your first piece, am I correct? Your composition incorporated a lot of beautiful poetic devices and imagery indicative on an experienced writer. Well, I hate to disappoint. Well, this is kind of my first time doing this sort of thing. You're joking, right?
I shake my head. If I ended up writing a good poem, it's totally coincidental, I'm afraid.
I see. Well, in that case, I think you've got a wonderful gift. Although, if you would like, I could offer you some advice for your future poems.
Yuri's eyes light up, as though she's been looking forward to this. Please do, I need all the help I can get.
I've just noticed a few qualities consistent with newer writers that showed up in your poem. Perhaps what stands out the most is that you've tried very hard to make the structure of this poem your own. And that's okay, but if this is the first poem you've written, it might be prudent to consider more traditional structures, couplets, sonnets, haiku, and that like. If you're not confident in your writing style, it'll show in your piece.
It's like Yuri's a totally different person once she gets going. Yeah, completely. She sounds incredibly confident and stands tall, speaking clearly.
Again, that's not your fault. I think that once you've studied poetic structure,
I can't speak today, I don't know why it is.
You've studied poetic structures and techniques a bit more, you'll be able to put together a truly wonderful composition.
I appreciate the feedback, Yuri. It sounds like you're well versed in this sort of things. Would it be okay if I took a look at what you've written?
Oh goodness, of course! Please let me know if you think it'll be thrilled. What do you think? I'll be thrilled to explain my process.
Yuri smiles dreamily, as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? I don't remember if this is exactly the same poem as we saw in the main game. Tumble. Hail falls down like discarded dust of overused emotions, dragging down blanket made of want. Slender, string pieces of my eyelids, barely painful, and pulls them shut. Ever so heavy, ever so heavy. I think I've misplaced something. Is there a piece missing? You need all the pieces to fix something. Please don't look for it. There are more important things for you to do today. That's lovely. Creepy, but lovely.
I'm sorry if my writing is a bit illegible. Once my pen touches the page, I just want to get my thoughts down.
It's fine, Yuri. I was able to read it just fine. I wasn't thinking that at all.
Are you sure? It seemed to take you a while to read it.
Well, I guess I don't see cursive often. But it's really nice when I do. Your writing is actually quite pretty.
Is that so? I'm glad you think so.
It made your poem stand out even more as well. It's as though your handwriting fits your word choice, or vice versa.
It wasn't too short, was it? I'm used to writing longer pieces, but since this is the first time we're sharing, I thought it would be easier to share.
That makes sense. Do you mind telling me what it's about, though? I'm not sure I understand.
Sorry, I didn't mean to write something confusing.
It's not that, I just want to be sure I'm reading it properly.
I see. I suppose from curiosity glance.
Sorry guys, I mess up most of the text here.
It might not be obvious. But part of what makes poetry magical is how you can conjure up a vivid image with your words. While on the surface it might seem a bit out there, if you look a little deeper, you might be able to find a deeper meaning hidden amongst the lines, compounded by the metaphors used. For example, the words and images in this poem aren't meant to be taken at face value. In actuality, it's supposed to be represent the lost
remnants of something lost to the past, and a sense of plaintive longing that comes with it. Yeah, that's pretty impressive when you put it that way. You really think so? That might be a bit much, Salsa. No, I really mean it. I think I could learn something from your poetry, Yuri. Really? Of course. You know, at first the prospect of sharing my writing was terrifying, but I'm really glad I was able to do it. Hopefully I can write another piece that you'll like, Salsa. I look forward to it, Yuri. Okay, that's one of them. So let's go with it. I'm gonna go with Monica last, I think. So let's go with Sayori.
Isn't this your first poem, right?
Yeah, why?
It's impressed me, especially for your first poem. But maybe this really is the place for you.
Come on, it's not that good. I mean, it's like I'm used to writing. It's not like I'm used to writing poems or anything. But thanks, I guess.
Don't be so hard on yourself, Salsar. Everyone has started somewhere. You're already off to a good start. Anyway, I guess I can show you mine now. Don't expect too much though. I'm not very good at this.
Only one way to find out. Dear Sunshine. As I said, I don't know if these are exactly the same poems. So far it feels pretty damn similar to the main game, but I'm sure this is the Blue Skies mod I play. Dear Sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub sleepy eyes from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever. But I'm not mad. I want breakfast. Yeah, that's Sayori.
Well, what did you think?
I hesitate. It's not that it was a bad poem. In fact, it was great. I'm just really inexperienced with poetry, especially feedback. It's really you.
What's that supposed to mean?
As in, the poem just really reminds me of you. It made me feel really good inside.
Really?
Yeah, I had no idea what to expect, as this is my first time reading your poetry. But the way this was written, I don't know. It feels really wholesome and cheery. Like you are. I also really like the last line. Trust you, of all people, to include breakfast in the poems.
I was eating when I wrote.
Sayori stopped speaking immediately, as if she accidentally let something slip. So you wrote the poem this morning?
No.
Well?
Maybe. I forgot to write it last night.
Well, at least we know where your inspiration comes from.
Eggs and toast.
Well, I suppose if it sounds silly, but it works, then it isn't silly. Either way, thanks for showing me your poem, Sayori. It was a good one.
I'm happy you think so. Anyways, next time I won't forget. Tomorrow's poem will be even better.
I'll hold you to that. So let's save. I just don't want to mess up anything, you know. Natsuki. She's not gonna like this.
Now, so if you're actually not gonna try, then you're better off just leaving the club.
Jeez, you don't beat any around the bush, do you?
Why should I? This is just plain bad.
Of course. Hey, do I look like a writer? This is my first ever poem. It's probably garbage, but I still tried. If you're confident, let's see the first poem you wrote. Hard to think so, right? Hard to think about.
Fine. Sorry if you were offended.
Way to avoid a direct apology.
But next time at least try a little bit harder.
Nowhere to go but up.
Yeah, sure, whatever. Just read my poem. Knowing you, you'll probably hate it.
Sometimes, some folks are winners, some only lose. Some are good getters, go-getters. Some only cruise. Sometimes we try hard and give it our all. Sometimes we give up. What else can we do? I guess that's good. I guess that's good.
Told you you'd hate it.
Actually, I like it.
What? Don't just say it's good because I'm girl. Be honest.
What? No, has nothing to do with you being a girl. I genuinely like the poem.
Really?
Yeah, it's simple, but it's still pretty effective.
Finally someone who gets it. People in high school think poetry has to be so formal and vague. They don't realize that simple writing is just as effective, if not more.
Yeah, you don't have to be super vague and make a lot of metaphors. You can just write directly what you mean sometimes. And it can still be a poem.
They really shouldn't have to search for the meaning. That's just stupid. Besides, the simpler the writing, the more emphasis on wordplay. Like how I made most of the lines start with some.
It's true. I like that. Yeah, I noticed that. Made the last couplets seem more powerful.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going for.
Well, good job then.
I didn't expect that from the youngest of the club, did ya?
Guess not. Moniru, what do you have? Hi Sasa. Hope you've been enjoying your time here. Definitely. I probably sound like a broken record by now, but everyone's been really welcoming. Well, a broken record isn't so bad when it plays something so nice. Is she flirting with us? I guess so. Anyway, since you're new and everything, feel free to bring up any questions or concerns you might have. It's my duty as president to make sure that everything is perfect. I'd have to say that you've been doing a good job of that already. I doubt that I'll ever have anything to complain about. Either way, I'm always open to new suggestions for the club as well. So don't be afraid to bring things up again, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. She says that, but it's gonna be a bit intimidating to try to criticize Monica of all people. Yeah, don't do that. I really don't think there's going to be anything I'll need to speak up about either. One of the other girls would probably say something before I ever needed to. Natsuki definitely would, yeah. Now, that's out of the way. Feel like sharing your poem with me? I mean, I don't really have a choice in the matter, do I? You shouldn't be thinking like that. I was just joking. Kinda. It's alright, Salsa. I get that it's probably really awkward for you to share creative work when you're just a beginner. Especially since the rest of us have a bit more experience than you do. Yeah, that's an understatement. Don't worry though, we're all a little embarrassed by today, you know. I don't think many people out there share the poetry on a regular basis. No, true. It's the sort of thing that you get used to pretty quickly once you get it over with. That's true. I hand my poem over with a sigh. Don't grade me too harshly. You'll be fine. I watch nervously as she quickly scans through my poem. Good work, Salsa. Thank you. She won't kill us this time. Really? You can lay the brutal truth on me if you want to. You don't have to be so harsh on yourself. This is your first time writing a poem, isn't it? That it is. It usually takes a while for people to become completely comfortable with their writing. And even then, they're constantly evolving the style and changing things up. Guess that's true. Either way, you shouldn't have high expectations for me. If you don't, my poems will seem better than when I actually put in some effort anyway. I muttered that line half jokingly to myself, but it seems like Monica's still picked up on it. Salsa! That's not very fair. More importantly though, you should have faith in yourself. Sorry. Anyway, about your poem, the subject was deeper than I expected out of you. You just don't understand the troubled genius of my angst-ridden mind. That might be so. That might been so. I guess we have two troubled, angsty geniuses in this club. Oh, two of us? Is she talking about us and Yuri? Or maybe herself? Yuri? Mm-hmm. You wrote in style very similar to Yuri's. Yeah, because we're gonna go her route. We're gonna simp the shit out of her. Her writing is full of imagery and symbolism, while Sayori and Natsuki likes to use simple and direct words to communicate their messages. Yuri likes to use complex diction and syntax to allow readers to derive their own meaning out of it. In other words, her vocabulary and sentence structure are usually quite involved. Yeah, that sounds like her, alright. Might be a bit tough to understand her writing at first, but what seems opaque actually has a very deep meaning. Has very deep meanings behind it. Yeah, the themes of Yuri's poem were definitely hard to even figure out. She sounds like the sort of person an English teacher would love. Yeah. Don't worry, Salsa. If you just give her writing a few read-throughs. I'm sorry. I'm so tired. I just come home from work and I keep messing up the text. I don't know why I can't read today. I'm sure you'll find that far from incomprehensible. So you say, are you sure that my writing is similar to hers? I think it's an understatement to say that I'm nowhere near her level yet. Don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and learn by trying new things. Yeah, sure, I'll end up doing a lot of different things before I settle on my own style. And it'll still take a while before I'm completely comfortable sharing my writing. That's perfectly fine. In fact, I'll probably be more surprised if you immediately started writing with your own style. Most people go through the same process that you're going through right now. Trying new things is the best way to find this kind of style that suits you, after all. Yeah, that's true, for many things in life. Anyway, when you talk to everyone about it, naturally they'll be a bit biased toward their own kind of styles. After all, I know I am. But don't force yourself to write in some way just because someone else wants you to. You should try to focus on what you want to. Feel free to ask me for help anytime though. I try to be as objective as possible when I talk to people about these topics. Thanks, I'll keep that in mind. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's cause I have to sound confident. That doesn't it doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know. Anyway, always on duty as the club president, huh? Well, let's give it a reading. I said I don't remember if this is in the main game as well. The box I see, but I don't believe. A lone fingerprint glistening on the gleaming glass. Was it me? Was I always the one in the dark? A pound on the glass, my prison. Why me? The pain jolts me back, the understanding pouring down with heavy rain. It's all a farce. My heart's on display. My life's but a script just to play away. The world out there had seemed so bright. It was so free. So many choices, so much potential. Maybe I could have had a chance. I realize now there was never a choice. I was stuck in this box and they, on the other side, chose for me. Yeah, she's self-aware. She's self-aware. What do you think? I don't quite know what it's to say. Sorry, I'm not sure that I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. I definitely get a certain kind of feeling from reading your poem, but I'm not sure how to put it into words. I can understand that. Just try to articulate it however you want. You can use metaphors outside of poetry, you know. Well then, when you put it like that, I don't know, I'd say your poem is kind of abstract. Very vague at least. Like I can't quite tell what exactly you're talking about, but even so I can feel what the speaker's feeling. I think that describes my poem pretty well. Really? Mm-hmm. I do like my metaphors. I do too though, I like my metaphors. Well, you'll probably be hard-pressed to find a poem without a metaphor actually. Yeah, they're pretty well covered in English class as well, at least. The ability to convey emotions and concepts through words, describing things even the writer might never had experienced before. I find that really powerful. When write metaphorically, it allows the reader to focus on the emotions in the poem. True. I guess it kind of opens it up for the reader to have their own interpretations. Exactly. It's fascinating when people can diverge from the creator's original intent to find their own meaning in a work of art. What was your original intent then? I think it'd be more fun if you try to figure it out yourself. Yeah, she's self-aware, even here. That just makes me even more curious now. Maybe I'll tell you one day. Oh, she will. She will. I'm just waiting for when this game is gonna turn dark, you know? Writing tip. Sometimes when you write a poem, or anything for that matter, you get too fixated on a specific point. But if you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. So the best thing to do is just force yourself to get something down on the paper and then tidy it up later. Anyway, another way to think about it is, if you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. We know. So just move your hand and write whatever is in your heart. Easier said than done. I get what she's trying to say though. It's better to look back on your work with fresh eyes after you've gotten something down on sometimes. Yeah, just get something, you know, a structure, a template of sort. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. That's it. I'm gonna continue a bit longer, see if we can play through the whole day. I'm not sure. Yes, that's everyone. I glanced around the room. That was surprisingly fun. I already knew that I wouldn't be able to write to the quality of the girls, but I tried my best. Everyone here is incredibly talented. Well, all the girls at least. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting again. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. Yeah, they're not gonna like each other's poems. As I watch Natsuki breezes through Yuri's poem, her eyes skipping over the words. Meanwhile, Yuri stares at the paper in her hand, smiling sadly. Natsuki quickly hands Yuri her poem back.
Here, I'm done.
Already?
Yeah, it's not like that it was super hard to read. I'm no illiterate, you know.
It was hard for me to understand at least. I just want to make sure that you caught all the figurative language that I employed.
Yeah, I did. It was fancy.
Thanks. However, I believe that you'd enjoy it more if you looked deeper into it.
I enjoyed it plenty already. Anyway, are you finished with my poem?
Yeah, yours cute.
Cute? Didn't you learn anything from our conversations yesterday?
Yuri looks shocked, regret seeping into her expression. Seems like both girls still hold their own prejudices, despite whatever common ground they have.
How can it be cute? Standing there thinking that I haven't read your poem, when it's really you who hasn't read my poem? catfight. It's clearly about the push and pull between giving up and trying hard.
I know that. I just meant language, I guess.
Well, maybe you should look deeper into my poem, because I use the type of language on purpose.
I see. If I may give a suggestion, these more involved subjects might be better suited to more complex diction. The art of poetry is deeply intertwined with...
Look, I know what you're trying to do, but it won't work on me.
And sorry, I don't quite understand. This kind of thing only works on amateurs like... Oh, sorry.
This thing only works on amateurs like Salazar.
Burn?
Writing in this way doesn't make you look cool or smart, okay? It just makes you look super pretentious. If you write with the thesaurus open next to you, you're just going to alienate everyone. Using all these big words to make up for a lack of depth. Poetry isn't about impressing people, so you can just stop.
Damn. Burn. I stare widely at Monica and Sayori, who have now also fallen silent. They stare back at me, looking unsure what to do. I'm guessing they don't usually have many arguments in the club, although tension between Natsuki and Yuri always seemed kind of high. Lack of depth.
Yeah, that's right. If I can give some suggestions now.
Excuse me? I appreciate the offer, but I really just ask. What makes you believe that I accept your advice after you've been so rude to me?
Rude? Blunt honesty.
You? You ever consider that other people don't hold the same opinions as you?
What are you trying to say?
I do really need to spell it out for you.
Yeah, you do. I want to see you're really going there.
The irony.
I dare you to say it.
Yuri gives a small laugh of disbelief. I must thank you, Natsuki. I've never been this angry in my life. Damn. It's actually giving me the courage to speak up. Is this why you're angry all the time?
Guys, we shouldn't. This doesn't evolve.
Yeah, this is turning dark. Sayori, please don't rob me of my moment. Rob me of my moment.
So this is your moment to shine or something. Strange things to pride in, don't you think?
No, it's my moment to finally speak my mind. But I still have the strength to... Yuri... Natsuki, have you ever realized how selfish you are? Suddenly, Yuri seems to be overpowering everyone else in the room.
What?
Everything always seems to go your way. You always jump to conclusions and make rash decisions without regard for the consequences. And it's never your fault, is it?
You don't know me.
No. You don't know me either. And yet you spoke as if you knew everything about me. Quite simply, you don't. The very fact you don't think that your blunt honesty was incredibly rude just goes to show how narrow-minded you truly are. Damn. Seizing her moment, Yuri boldly carries on, disdain dripping from each word. I know it must be difficult concept for you to understand, but the whole world doesn't revolve around you and your manga. So tell me, why should I take advice from someone who can only see their own perspective? Everyone knows it. Monica, Sayori, even Salsa. Don't you remember how hostile you were to Salsa when he first joined us?
I wasn't being hostile. We haven't had a new member in a long time. Sorry, not sorry for keeping on my toes. And that's how I talk to everyone, not just Salazar. Am I supposed to change my whole personality to cater to how you think I should be? Salazar has problems with my jokes. He can tell me. You don't get to speak for him.
Yuri closes her eyes and shakes her head, carrying on as if she didn't hear the outburst. Do You really expect a new member to be able to speak up so easily? Not everyone is afraid of being a brutish cretin as you. What? Yuri is savage. First of us were so excited to have a new member, but did that thought ever cross your mind? No, you just let your own selfish thoughts dictate your behavior.
Selfish that they weren't so.
You could have scared him off. That might have been what you wanted. But what's about the rest of us?
I just explained myself, for God's sake. As per usual, you weren't listening.
Please stop this. This is getting really messed up.
You know, for someone who's been ranting about how narrow-minded I am, you're pretty intolerant yourself. There, I used a big word. Now I sound like Shakespeare.
Yes. These girls. Yeah, they are really catfighting here.
Well, I guess I didn't have any issue with me yesterday. It's just you.
Of course I didn't ask you. They just didn't say anything. Monica is too responsible and Sayori is too kind. So why don't we ask Salsa then? Oh no. No, I don't want to. I want to. No. Who's right? How did I get dragged into this? Don't let me choose. Don't let me choose. They just ignore all the personal stuff and just talk. Yeah. But it's not like I'm good at judge. No, don't let me choose. Maybe I should just defer one of the club's leaders. Yeah, Monica. Help me. Quickly glance over to Monica. Monica nods at me and approaches the two girls. Yuri and Natsuki, this is... She clears her throat. Is it just me or did she confident persona seem to waver a bit? This is no way to act in our club. Monica does seem sort of disoriented. She's probably not used to such confrontation. You're kind of setting a bad example. Salsa's probably really uncomfortable. I am. We all are. Not to mention, there are really no reason for this argument to be happening. But Monica, no, I can't have this in this club.
Are you kidding me? Don't you see how Yuri is treating me? She's being a massive jerk right now. This is so much. There's so much reason for this argument.
Excuse me, Natsuki, this is actually your own toxic behavior that led to this. Yuri emphasis on toxic a bit. Yeah.
This is exactly why no one wants to be your...
Be your what? Be your friend? Enough! Monica seems to have gotten over herself, now looks livid. You guys are supposed to be friends, aren't you? It's so foolish how you two are acting. Don't you have any consideration for the other club members? You've been even making Salsa uncomfortable. Yuri, didn't you say yourself that you wanted to make him feel as welcome as possible? What happened to that? I didn't mean to make him feel that way. And don't forget Sayori. Sayori, she always acts in everyone's best interest while you two act like this.
I wasn't trying to do anything either, I'm just being honest. Yuri is...
Let me finish, Natsuki. I would ask you to please consider the way you are treating one another. You guys are obviously talented with your riding skills. You both have unique aspects to your riding styles. That's what makes you guys special. To be fair, I'm obviously not good with handling situations like this, but there's a sudden pause for a minute. I decide to break the silence. I agree with Monica. Fighting will only cause everyone to split apart, and to be honest, I really like it here. And I believe if there's any resentment held over, just doesn't be the same. Both girls are speechless. Yuri is the first to speak. I'm just going to make tea. Natsuki remains silent and takes a seat, only to stare into nothingness. I slide next to Sayori. You can see why she's president.
Yeah, she's pretty good. Even though she doubts herself, I think she handles that pretty well.
Monica seems to be such a genuine sweet girl. Hopefully I'll be able to properly get to know her during the school year. Okay, everyone. Just about time for us to leave. How did you all feel about today? Yeah, not discuss the cat fight.
It was a lot of fun.
Some moments were worth it.
It was alright, well, mostly.
Salazar, how about you? I actually really enjoyed myself. It seems I do like expressing myself through poetry, a lot more than I initially thought. Everyone looks intently at me, the girls smiling at me. It was really cool getting to see everyone's different writing styles. That's awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And hopefully you will learn something from us too. So your poems will turn out even better. Yeah. Think to myself a bit as I begin to pack up. Today I managed to learn a little more about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, I'll be able to learn more about the girls as individuals through their themes and messages. I nod to myself, turning to Sayori. Hey Sayori, ready to walk home?
Sure.
Okay, see you guys tomorrow then. As we leave the club room, Sayori turns back to wave at the girls. I do the same. Natsuki smiles, then quickly looks away to act like she doesn't care. Yuri awkwardly smiles and nods. And as expected from this school idol, Monica gives a friendly grin and waves back. What happened earlier?
Yeah, what do you mean?
You know, Yuri and Natsuki? I remember you told me yesterday that they sometimes bicker, but are all their arguments normally that bad? Yeah.
No, not at all. They have their differences, but it's the first time I've ever seen them fight like that.
Maybe it's Monica doing something behind the scenes, you know?
You don't hate them or anything, do you?
No, not at all. It's not just... It's only normal for people to argue, I guess. I was just curious after all. You know them better than I do. Sayori lets out a relieved sigh.
You know, Salazar, it's been nice seeing you again. Didn't really think we'd get to spend much time with one another again.
Yeah, tell me about it. It's been really fun hanging out again. I don't really know when we started drifting away. And why? Guess it was just life coming between us, huh? She nods, looking a little reflective. Still, I'm glad you let me join your club. I'm not going to lie. At first I was a bit doubtful when you told me about literature. But hey, guess it just goes to show that you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. She giggles as I frown, and I frown. Did I say something funny? Yeah, a literature pun.
Nice pun. Did you even realize?
The book comment? Geez, looks like the club's really starting to rub off on me, isn't it? It's really... She's adorable. She's a good childhood friend. Wonder what's really like inside her head. Oh, we don't want to know. We don't want to know.
You haven't changed at all, Salazar. You always knew how to make me laugh.
I blush slightly. I've never really known how to react to that compliment, especially when it comes to someone of the opposite sex. I'm glad I'm still able to do that. I'll be honest though, I didn't think I'd make so many new friends by joining the club.
Well, a really nice bunch. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, pretty warm welcome. She nods contently. Anyway, let's see what the future holds. I'll see you tomorrow.
See ya.
They are interesting characters, they are. I briefly wonder how Monica found all of them. In just 2 days, I feel like I've made progress with each member. Getting to know Yuri and Natsuki, actually getting to talk to Monica a little bit, and of course reuniting with an old friend. I never would have guessed this would all come from joining the club, but hey, I'm not complaining. Let's just hope my writing improves over time so I can write poems as a standard more like theirs. Speaking of which, there's a work to be done tonight. Let's do this. I like this mini thing. Adorable. Gonna write a new poem. Yeah, so let's save. There we go. There we go. It was a longer video than I thought, but I hope you enjoyed it. It's very similar to the main game so far, but I get it will diverge more and more into the real story of Blue Skies and meeting the new characters and such. But hope you enjoy, leave a like, leave a favorite. I'll see you in another part very soon. Stay awesome. Toodeloo!